Hello, hello, everyone. Yes, this is really happening.
Whoa.
I'm Terry.
I'm Mandy, and we are the
Spinster
Spinster Sisters.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. We are very excited to be here with you in our little podcast here. We're thrilled you're tuning in, and thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks, everyone, for joining. So, really, the Spinster Sisters. What is this podcast all about, and who the hell are the Spinster Sisters? This is your first question.
As it should be.
Right. Soon enough, we're going to be a household name, Mandy. We know that.
Yes.
But let's just ease into it right now, and let's tell them a little bit about our situation.
Yeah, we don't want to scare them off quite yet.
Okay. Right. We can't share everything.
Right.
In this first pilot. Okay. So first of all, the podcast is not about spinsters.
Not here to talk about that.
We're not here to talk about that at all. Okay. Or really teach you anything at all useful for your life. Okay. That's not.
Just don't practice anything that we preach.
Right. We're really not going to be sharing anything useful with you.
No.
Probably. So it's going to be generally the two of us sitting around, shooting the breeze, talking to you about our lives.
Wicked exciting.
Wicked exciting. We will have interviews on this podcast eventually, and but not with anyone, like famous. These are just people significant in our lives.
Yeah, I mean, not off the bat. There'll be people famous in our lives, but eventually we'll be getting people knocking on our doors. Yeah, just waiting.
Okay, we'll get like a wait list for guests on our podcast.
Yes,
eventually. So we're just normal people.
Can you define normal, Teresa?
Okay, I guess it depends on your definition of normal. We've been living through COVID the past year, just like everybody else during the more restrictive lockdown earlier last year. Our situation during COVID is a little different from most people in our demographic group.
How so?
Well, let's first acknowledge there are some people, of course, that are living alone through all this and they've had to ride this out solo. And we recognize that must be difficult.
Yes.
But odds are, most of our peers anyway, in our cohort, were holed up with their spouses or significant others, their kids, and all of this.
Not us.
We are two divorced sisters in our 40s, living in the Boston area with a dog in a small 2-bedroom apartment and no yard space.
It's fair to say that we never really grew up.
Yeah, let's throw that on top of there. So there's a recipe for
fun.
For fun right there.
Yep.
And we will say, let's just say that this apartment was like too small even before COVID hit.
Yes. And now it's just that much more restrictive.
It's true. So that's our living situation in a nutshell. We thought, and our friends thought, it might actually be entertaining to capture the stuff and things that go on in here, all the ridiculous stories, and sort of share them with you, our listeners.
Lucky listeners. Let's clarify that, Terry.
Let's. And early on, as we were sort of brainstorming the format for this, we were thinking, wow, let's maybe put a camera in that apartment. Let's film our exploits, sort of like real world or like Jersey Shore style.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit too intimate.
No one wants a video of us yet.
Yeah. I mean, they might.
They will.
They will. But to start, this just felt a little safer, if you will. Yes, Mandy?
I fully agree.
So our plan is to just come on here like every week and just regale you with stories about our domestic partnership during COVID in general.
Yep. And how we just survived 2020.
Right. Which is the year of the devil. We all know that.
That is accurate.
And we could talk about how we're surviving so far in 2021. And I mean, who's more interesting than two divorced 40-something-year-old sisters?
No one. Because who wouldn't want a piece of this, Terry? Who wouldn't?
I don't know one person
Nor
who
me.
wouldn't. And the idea for this air quote production, this came about many, many months ago now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mandy, in our fashion, we sat around talking about how we were going to have this like really awesome, funny podcast and really never did anything about it.
Pretty much par for the course.
There have been countless times in the course of our everyday lives in the past year or so where something like wildly hysterical has happened and we've been like, oh my God, this has to go in Spinster Sisters. Yes.
Yes.
It just didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Because there just was no podcast.
There was no podcast to put it on.
Didn't exist.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
But it does now. Okay.
Amen.
And so before we lose any more of this comic gold, we thought, all right, we decided that we're going to do something about this and record this nonsense.
Well, by we mean Terry, because I just kind of showed up here.
Okay.
Terry.
That's true. It's all true.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll share the credit, Mandy.
Thanks.
Okay. Per usual.
Yeah. I'll take more credit for it, except for this first pilot episode in which I'll give the kudos to Terry.
Okay, that's great. Great split. All right, we're going to get something out now that's, just the brief serious note here. So we've been living in some crazy times recently, okay? It's sort of the understatement of the year, let's be honest. We're living in a pandemic. People have died. People can't see their loved ones. Families have been through the ringer. We get it. The racial and cultural divides are real going on right now. Our country has problems. The world has problems. We follow the news, sometimes obsessively too. Okay. But hey,
perhaps you need a moment of levity. Maybe you don't want to think about COVID or elections or insurrections or, real life. If you're looking for cheap laughs, this is where it is. You've come to the right place.
You're on the right podcast. Okay?
Amen.
To not think about serious stuff. As we said, we're not teaching anyone anything, and we're not here to sell anything either. We do need to mention that we're sort of here for amusement purposes only, which I'm sure you've picked up by now.
Yes. And if you haven't, then I don't know what to tell you.
We will say that we apologize that we were not there for you in the early days of COVID. We could have probably made this go through, made it a bit smoother for everyone.
Yes. I mean, you just needed us, and that's why we're here now. Oh, that's another member of the podcast, but we'll tell you about that one in a few.
King decided to say a quick hello before we're introducing you in a second, buddy, okay?
So take it down.
Seriously. All right, so that's enough background. Let's just sort of dive into the meat of it all.
Head first. Let's do it.
Head first.
So, Terry, what can they expect from the podcast?
That's a great question, Mandy.
I thought so.
Okay, the first thing you should know about us is that we employ a lot of sarcasm in our art. And more air quotes, art. This is a newly developed art form of ours. All right, these are our performances, and this is who we are.
And if it's not your thing, I mean, we get it.
It's okay.
Just go out and
back right out of this podcast right now. That's fine. There are plenty other podcasts for you.
There are. This is the best one, but it's cool. We're not going to judge you.
Except I think you will be, Mandy.
I might.
I'll
still love you. And I'll still love you, though.
We'll hope to get you back. But a word about the sarcasm. We do realize it's the lowest form of wit. And to a certain extent, we agree with that. Okay. We're going to try to share with you an intellectually superior form of sarcasm.
Yes. We'll let you be the judge of the superiority. All right. So, Terry, I'd like to know what else we can expect.
What else we and they can expect.
I don't know what to expect. So
Mandy's just showing up.
So I guess all of us, other than you.
Okay, great. Well, you're going to hear us launching into fake Boston accents.
Wicked Boston accents, kid.
We grew up in the suburbs, so we generally don't have them in IRL. That's what we say in IRL, not IRL. In IRL.
In IRL.
We generally don't have them, but our family is from Somerville originally. Somerville.
Okay, sorry, dude.
All right. You're not saying it right. Okay. From Somerville, and our parents have some pretty fierce accents.
Wicked fierce accents. But don't worry, guys. You are going to meet the parental units, a.k.a. Jack and Mary. Don't you worry about it.
Worry about it. Okay, there will be guests at some point.
Don't miss a wink of sleep. You'll meet them.
You'll have Mary and Jack, and then the accents. Why do we do the accents? We don't really know. We just find it hilarious. And
it is.
It is. And anything can spark it. No real theme, no specific causes. I mean, Mandy, would you agree? Generally, we don't launch into them if we're in crappy moods. So you could safely assume that we're probably in a good mood, or at least we're not fighting when we start using them.
Agreed. No one wants us fighting on this. So we will just, we'll just rip out the Boston accents whenever I want to strangle my sister, but it's cool. All right. So that can't be all that we can expect from this.
Oh, no,
podcast.
no, there's so much more.
Tell us.
Okay. You'll be hearing, so King made a little cameo earlier. So look, you'll be hearing us talking about our dog.
My dog.
Mandy's dog, King. Probably a lot.
Yes.
Right? We are like you, ununique in some respects. And okay, we live with a dog. His name is King. King is like your dog, who is super psyched that we're home. Your dog is super psyched that you're home now. And let's just face it, let's be honest. They're all going to be devastated when everyone goes back to work.
All right, take that down a notch. No one wants to hear about that right now. They're here for laughs, Terry.
Sorry. Okay. I digress.
Okay. I'm glad we went through that. So tell us what more we can expect.
They should expect some really childish bickering, and it's usually over some dumb crap that no 40-something should be getting worked up over.
Did we mention that we have not yet grown up? We did.
So that's sort of... That's a thing. So we'll have these stupid. We'll try to keep most of the serious bickering off live air.
Yeah.
Offline.
We'll try.
So some of the things that we will sort of get annoyed at each other over, the little bickering, we will talk about, something that bugs us, i.e. who is drinking all the seltzer?
That's always Terry.
Why are you taking such a long shower?
Because showers are awesome and you annoy me.
We also fight about emptying the dishwasher.
Terry's job.
We fight about Mandy wanting me to stop for baked goods basically every time on my way home from basically anywhere.
I don't know why that would be such a big deal.
We also fight about other first world problems.
Yep, we do. So is it like an infomercial? But wait, there's more.
Because there's so much more.
So much.
What are you asking? What else can they expect?
I'm sorry. Yes, thank you.
All right. You'll soon learn, if you continue to listen to us, there are some alter egos that sort of pop up and make an appearance occasionally.
And they're fun people.
They are fun. Both Terry and Mandy have them, but one that you're going to hear from probably more often is Mandy's friend.
Dottie.
Dottie. Does Dottie want to come say hello right now?
Not yet. Again, we're not trying to scare him off yet.
Okay. Dottie, just know Dottie exists. She's real. And she'll come and say hello when she feels like it.
Yeah. Yeah. She's pretty awesome.
She is. And we will say that, like, this alter ego, this Dottie character, any of you who have like extended family at all around the urban Boston surrounding areas, mainly, okay, where the accents are fierce, almost all of you are going to have a Dottie in your family.
And if not in your family, you all know a Dottie. That much is guaranteed.
Amen.
Yes. Is there anything else that we can expect, Terry?
Let's see. Let's talk about okay, so we have a pretty similar sense of humor, right?
Yes.
Mandy, you and me, which can tend to be juvenile sometimes.
Yes.
You will learn that, one of us attempts to employ some intellectual humor, not always successfully, but tries. And the other one is always going to go for the low-hanging fruit.
Always.
But they don't know who it is.
Yeah, I mean, they might, but we don't know yet.
Come back for future episodes if you haven't figured out already,
Or if you have figured it out already, please still come back.
Everybody, come back. So, Mandy, what else?
So we are certain you will be interested in getting to know our family, friends, and neighbors because, why wouldn't you want to know them? Because they're awesome.
They're awesome.
They are awesome. I mean, though maybe as this little podcast gets off the ground, we'll use pseudonyms.
We definitely want to protect their identities and make sure they don't get mobbed on the streets by fans.
Which, I mean, is clearly going to happen.
It's a real risk.
Yep.
Actually, the real risk is that do they want to be associated with this endeavor at all? I don't see why they wouldn't, but I mean, we might use pseudonyms just to sort of give them that option to start off.
Yeah. So is there anything else that we can expect in this lovely little podcast?
You could probably, I don't know if we can capture it all here, Mandy, but in general, they'll be hearing about our activities and, life events that just occur here. Among
Exciting
the Spencer
stuff.
sisters, yeah. You'll hear about recipes that are cooked in our home. We'll probably make some recommendations on stuff we like to do or some stuff that can help get you through the rest of this COVID winter. We're saying winter because we're in New England and it's cold and, we still have some winter left. But you could be wintering anywhere.
You could be. We don't know where you are.
You don't.
You could be in outer space. We have no clue.
I was going to say like Florida, but yeah, outer space.
Same thing.
There could be alien life form listening to this podcast.
Realizing how
we don't want to restrict our
No.
target audience here, okay?
No.
You don't have to be Earthlings to like this.
You're probably not Earthlings if you like this.
Let's be honest.
All right. So I have another question for you, Terry.
Yeah, shoot.
So as a listener, who are they and why might they like this podcast?
Great questions, Mandy.
I know.
So as we just said, we welcome all listeners. There could be many things that are drawing you to this podcast, but we're going to share some profiles that we identified in our research.
Okay, time out. We did zero research.
Yeah, we don't need to tell them that, but yeah,
Okay.
That's right. This is who we think. All right.
I mean, if we're going to be honest,
our data shows that these following groups may like our podcast. Okay? Let me just tell them what the market research says.
Okay. Please do.
All right. A, you are a spinster too.
Seems obvious.
Right. Okay. You will probably like this. You can always relate to the always so pleasant experience of being a single woman in her 40s, like approaching middle age.
And, being able to do whatever the heck she wants.
That's right. Female empowerment. Okay. B, you live with your sister too, or you have a sister. You totally understand the truly trivial, childish bickering.
Yeah.
that goes on.
You understand those deeply held grudges or the hurt that you've buried, just buried deep down.
It always seems to bubble up in the heat of the moment, doesn't it, Mandy?
It does. It does.
Something from like 23 years ago.
That just keeps coming back, rearing its ugly head.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
That it is. That it is.
It's great with those deeply repressed feelings. The resentment. Okay, let's just stop.
Okay.
So anyway, how about we're just talking about having a sister, okay? So I don't know why you need to get all dark here, Mandy.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I do that all the time.
All right. C, you're a local Boston area kid. And for those of you outside New England, we don't mean literally a kid as in a child, like a young human being. We mean it in the truest sense of the, hey, kid, say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah.
Sort of
That
usage.
type of kid. Yeah, kid.
Yeah, kid. Local folks will understand this reference.
Yes. Or those who have watched any kind of Boston-based film or TV show, because I would hope that some of the truly Bostonian part is really captured in those. I don't know if they are.
I'm not sure if they are. But
Again, research.
again, we'll get back to you on that one.
Thanks.
We're not restricting to Boston either. We want to make a point. You will probably understand our references a bit more, or you'll get it. You'll get the sort of unique sort of Boston sense of humor, but you don't have to be from here to find us totally hysterical.
Yeah, obviously.
Because now we get to our last group, D. Anyone with a general good sense of humor will like this show.
Yes.
That's what the market research says.
It's extensive.
Really, Mindy, at the end of the day, they'll like listening to this if they just don't mind listening to us talk for a half hour.
Yeah.
About nothing important.
Which is about literally nothing important, but funny. So, I mean, you're probably still saying to yourself, why the hell am I still listening to this?
It's a very fair question.
I think so.
So to accelerate our introduction, we're going to share a little bit about us now to see if we're compatible.
Whether or not you're going to swipe left or right.
Because you're still deciding, is this something that's worth your time? Are you going to listen to us?
Yeah.
To help facilitate that decision for you, so we've come up with a multiple choice quiz, okay? A sort of preview, if you will, of our personalities.
Great. I love quizzes.
I'm not sure you're going to get these answers right, Mandy. We'll try.
We'll try. We'll try our darndest.
Because it is about you.
Oh, nuts. This quiz sucks.
All right. Let's start the quiz. This is Terry. I'm talking about Mandy. See if you can guess how Mandy is spending her time during COVID. A, she's learning to play the guitar.
Beautiful instrument.
B, she's upping her reading game, probably taking down about a book per week.
Minimum book per week.
C, she's obsessively vacuuming up after her dog King.
Ain't nobody want no white hair everywhere around the apartment.
It's true. D, she started off the lockdown playing games on her phone and watching the Game Show Network and ID Discovery, and now she's moved into selling natural skin and hair products through Facebook.
I feel like that's a little bit too detailed, but I feel like that's the answer.
Mandy, that is correct. The answer is D only.
Yeah, I got it right.
D only.
Yes.
See the joke? None of
No.
the other things happened.
Thanks, Terry.
Especially C.
I don't know what you're talking about. I clean up so well after my dog. Oh, okay. Well, then you know what we're going to do now, Terry? If this is the way
What?
we're going to play it, flipping it to you. Quiz about Terry.
Oh, yikes.
Should be fun. All right. Let's see how Terry may have been spending her time during COVID.
Let's see.
Okay. So A, feeling like she's an expert on any given subject after taking one free self-improvement class or an app or listening to one lecture related to a topic on YouTube.
Look, you can absorb a lot through one
Okay.
conversation.
Fair enough. Okay. B, saying she doesn't want any, then eating all of my JP Licks ice cream after I ordered it through delivery or DoorDash, or I picked it up myself. Either way, do not touch my ice cream.
All right. I think you're giving away a little bit too much here, Mandy, but that's cool. Let's just say this Mandy's addicted to JP Licks. Side note.
Thank you for that. They may have picked up on that. C, casually trying to learn Spanish so she can eventually retire to Mexico because Lord knows she won't be able to support herself in old age in the good old US of A.
What are you saying, that I'm not going to be able to afford to retire and live out my golden years in the United States?
I mean, that's an option. This is a quiz, Terry. We don't know. Okay. D, Do you think she quit her corporate job in the middle of a pandemic in September of 2020?
Who would do that?
Only geniuses. Because, the answer here.
Wait, is there an E?
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, what's
there
the E?
is. I don't know, Terry. Is it all the above? Maybe that's the answer.
Ding, 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 ding.
Winna, chicken dinner.
The answer is E.
Now you can see why I want to punch her in the face 90% of the time.
I do have a job. Okay, we'll get to that in another podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Of course. So stick around for that, guys, next time.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, everyone. So, look, now that you've taken the compatibility quiz, that's probably enough for one episode, right?
Yes, I think we should cut it now.
Okay. So we will say this. If you want more of this, which is complete nonsense and just a moment to make you feel better about your own lives,
you want to dumb it down, kill some brain cells.
You want to ride out this long, cold winter with us, join us next time.
Yay.
So thank you again. We do hope that you will join us. Like, if you want to be here with us as we kick off our meteoric rise to fame, you could be part of this ride, this journey.
This journey. Don't think we're not going to be so grateful to you people.
Oh, yeah. We'll remember you always. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And we would love it if you would review the podcast as well.
Disclaimer, we only will accept 5-star reviews.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I mean, you can review it.
But Mandy is very sensitive and she takes things really personally, so.
I do. So just be nice.
Okay. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram and our Facebook page. Our Twitter handle is at Sisters Spinster.
That's sisters with an S.
Instagram.
The Spinster Sisters Podcast.
Okay. You just could search for us on the social media. You're going to find us somewhere.
Because frankly, we have no idea what our social names are yet.
We'll get better at this.
Again, first trial run at this podcast.
Well, stick around though. Stay with us. And until next time, deuces.